Hello everyone, good day. We are pleased to be here as part of the Imagine Cup. We are the CoTravelers team consisting of Muhammed, my colleague, and me, Ayman. Our application aim is to enhance the travel experience as overall. This is just an enhancement, this is a step forward. So the goal is to enhance it for the benefit of the traveler. Of course, this is the main entity we're dealing with, and also for the people in the airports, the airport officials. Why is that? Because we want to ensure some smooth flow in the airports. You know, Dubai Airport today receiving flights, many flights each hour. So ensuring that the flow is smooth, this is really important. So let me tell you two stories about two people. One of our friends, he has busy schedule. He has many flights in a short term. These flights are normally in e-tickets format or in printout formats. So we would like to provide him with something that will unify these flights so that he can track them, he can see all the details that in one view. Some of the flights might have multiple connections, of course, so this can be more complex. Okay. Another story is of my sister who visited us 2 months ago. This was the first time she came to the UAE. She was on visit visa, and when she get in Dubai airport, she went directly to passport control, as she normally does in all airports. But in Dubai, we have a special requirement before you go to passport control. You have what's called the iris scan, which is the eye scan that's required by all people who are on a visit visa. So imagine that my sister and many more people coming from everywhere, they don't know about this requirement. So they will go in the queues of passport control. It is congested, and then when they reach at the passport control, they will tell them, please go back to iris scan. So this will create congestion. So we wanted to help in this scenario. Another scenario is, this is really might be funny. The time in flights is mentioned in this format, 20, right? So this 20 is equivalent to 8 o'clock. My sister interpreted this as 10 o'clock, and nobody watched after, nobody double checked. So imagine that before the flight, 2-3 hours, we just discovered that the flight is 8 o'clock, it's not 10 o'clock. So we wanted to help also in this kind of scenario. Okay, here what we'll provide. It's a mobile application using the interesting new Windows Phone platform. We'll provide a unified dynamic list of flights. This list is dynamic because it's populated from the airliner database directly. And of course, it has all the reservation on this airline. And if a user reservation is made, it will update on here. So this is what we meant with the unified list. It's on your fingertips on the mobile, considering that the smartphones today have higher reachability. Also, we'll provide with notifications. So the problem is the data is there, but you have busy schedule, or you might misinterpret this as my sister did. So we'll provide notifications. We'll provide predefined notifications like 24 hours before the check-in. We'll provide 3 hours at the boarding gates are open, 45 minutes at gates closing, 15 minutes as the final call for people who are hanging out in the duty-free and forgetting the flight. Also, you can configure a notification like 3-4 hours. This could be configured by the user. Also, one interesting feature is that I can share this flight information with a friend who is waiting for me at the other airport. I can, of course, compose an SMS or an email, but the problem is I might mistype, for example, the date or the time. So here we have all the information. Why don't we auto-generate the SMS or the email so that it can be sent with the reliable information that will be auto-generated from you? Okay, that was one part. The second part is we wanted to provide a solution for my sister with the iris scan that she has to go first before going to passport control. So we'll provide some kind of information, some kind of notification about what you should do at the boarding or at the arrival. For the boarding, for example, you'll go at the counters. For example, you have the Dubai airport, Terminal 1 has many zones. So when you arrive at the airport, you'll search for the zone, then for the counter. So what if you have this already on mobile? You'll go directly to the zone and then to the counter intended. Okay, after we had feedback of the previous two parts, people from Microsoft who were supporting us told us, why don't you extend this to have some kind of full experience? Like we'll provide like transportation from and to the airport. What are the means of transportation? We'll provide some culture about the UAE. People are coming from all over the world to the UAE and Dubai specifically. There is a special culture here, right? So we want to tell them there is special culture here. People dress this and that, and like there is specific dress code. And for Ramadan, there is special eating is forbidden in public places, smoking is forbidden in public places, and so on. Also, we might extend this to tourism and other uses. Also, we'll provide currency information, weather information, and so on. We wanted to provide feedback for users. This is the value. The value is we'll provide users with what to do at the airport. So things might change. So we want them to provide us with feedback so that we update our information. And also this can be shared through the social networks that's available nowadays. Okay, now for the demo with my colleague Muhammed. This is a prototype. So to Muhammed.
So here's the application. As you can see, all of the flights you have reserved will be presented to you in a very dynamic list that is directly got from your database. Each item represents a flight. This flight has all the important information you need, like the departure airport, the arrival airport, the departure time, and the arrival time. Also, you will have an indicator, which is this little icon here. It will be colored when the flight is available for online check-in, and when it is not, it will be grayed out like this one. Also, as you know, that many flights, or some flights, has different connections, meaning that you have to go through several trips till you get the destination. So to show all of these connections, let's take this as an example. You have all the connections related to that flight. You have to go from Dubai to Cairo, Cairo to Liverpool, from London to New York. So what if you want to know about the procedures that we have talked about in the presentation? All you have to do is to press on the connection, and you'll be presented by this fantastic panorama view. It contains two sections, the departure section and the arrival section. As you can see, we have set the background as a scene for that country. So Cairo has the famous pyramids, and Dubai has the fantastic Burj Al Arab. Now we have several categories. The boarding category is the one that guides you through the airport from the departure, and here it will guide you in the arrival airport. Last feature is the share trip that shares your trip information using SMS. You have to click here and then share trip details by SMS or by email. So we're going to press by SMS, and an auto-generated SMS will be created for you and ready to send to anybody you want.
Okay, that was just a prototype. We, of course, are planning to enrich this, and we have plans for beta version and so on. Let's have a quick glance about the architecture. We have the smartphone. It will be connected to the airline's backend, of course, to get the flights information. And we have our CoTravelers database that will have all the information about airports and cities and so on. And of course, as counters and gates are configurable, so we have a flight attendant portal. This is our portal, so that for each flight we can configure these. Okay, we plan to provide multilingual support and, of course, interactive maps instead of textual steps. We have other enhancements. Let's proceed. Okay, for marketability, we hope that this could be adopted by an airliner like Emirates Group. And also, we plan to monetize this through the store.
Time is up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to the judges.
I was clear. How would you fetch data from the airline? So basically, if it's one airline, then I can see maybe linking or being developed by that airline and providing your own data. But then you've displayed multiple airlines on there. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to be connecting and fetching your data?
Okay. Well, this was just for demo, but of course, when integrated with an airline, we'll have flights of travelers on this airline only. But we have another model to market this on the store. So users might enter their flight information, or we might integrate it with some third party who's providing flight data. So we are showing like a general demo for our concepts, for our prototype.
Just a question. A little bit hard time sort of. I like the idea. I think that is exactly what every traveler needs. What I'm trying to figure out now is because there's quite a bit of competition in this space already. So what would you say that is different in this application compared, let's say, Tripit or something similar?
Okay, great question. Because we did a survey, as this concept is very simple, we think it's straightforward. It came to our mind, but we did a survey on different stores of the popular smartphones nowadays, and we didn't find something close to this. We find flight trackers applications, we found hotel reservation applications, but we haven't found something like this. So we thought this is an opportunity. We don't know if this was not required. We did a survey on our close circles, friends, colleagues, and so on, and they thought this is promising. We hope they think this so.
What is the most important problem, let's say, that you're trying to solve? Like, if you give me one big problem.
Okay, we have two basically. The first one is to provide you travelers who are traveling a lot with a list of flights. So this is a unified place where they have all the flights, instead of scattering these e-tickets away on the email and so on. This is one thing. The other thing is we'll provide them with some information about the airport they are traveling to, about their destinations. So you have like the iris scan. This is very important. You have to go iris scan first before going to the passport control. By the way, this is nice for the airport officials. We'll ensure smoother flow in the airports from point A to point B, instead of people going around and asking about where to go.
Did you think of where you will get all the other content from, the tourism, culture, all those other content pieces? Where were you planning to get them from?
Well, this was added at the final stages of our development. So, of course, there are reliable sources that provide these. And this is a good opportunity to integrate with these people. Of course, we believe that no one alone can provide everything. So we'll focus on this integration with the airliner. We'll focus about the boarding and arrival information and so on. And for the other parts that are completing our application, we can plan to integrate with other parts.
And your business model was, where were you going to make money from?
Well, this could be adopted as a service provided by an airline to its travelers. This could have a business model that the airliner provides, but as well we can put this on the market. We can sell this on the market, and we can integrate it, as I said to Mr. Muhammed, with the there are third-party services that are providing a flow of airport, of flight information, and that's updated. So we can integrate with these. Thank you very much.
Where would you market this application? How would you market it?
As I said, either adopted by an airline, hopefully Emirates, or
I'm talking on the
store.
customer's side. So on the store.
On the store. This is the great thing about the platform. So Windows Phone brings this opportunity. They have a platform and they have their own store. So this is a good opportunity, and we'll have access to people through this. I would like to thank people who came from our university.
Time is up.
University.
Co-travelers, and I'd like to welcome to the stage Team Sana presenting Sana application.
First one. It's amazing when fitness gets personal. Arms a little higher. That was excellent. And brings you closer to your goal.
Xbox, Internet Explorer, weather.
When the answers you want are just a question away. Your devices not only work together, they play together.
Time to go. Okay.
And movies go where you go. It's amazing when learning brings this much laughter. And TV is something you can play.